Definitely, Jakarta data is probably the most significant, in terms of that's a net new specification that was included in Jakarta 11. For those of you who are not aware of it, it's very similar to what you might be used to in Spring Data JPA, or if you use the Delta Spike data module. So it is basically a way of taking an interface, describing, at a high level, your data access paradigm, your finders and add, remove, delete methods in an interface, and instead of writing your own JPA implementation, simply annotating that interface and having the corresponding repository, precisely what it's called, generated for you. So I think that by far is, as I said, it's the biggest change in Jakarta 11, and it's the only net new specification as well.
Jakarta EE 11. What I think is quite important, that Jakarta stays up to date with the Java version, and that is what's happening with Jakarta EE. With the 11 release, it will be compatible with Java 21. By doing so, you can use a lot of new features from the Java SE within Jakarta. One example is that you have support for records now, even in the data-related APIs, which allows you to create immutable object and immutable data objects, for example. I think that's a nice feature.
I would have to say it's probably CDI, and the evolution of CDI in Jakarta E10 with CDI Lite, and then more improvements coming in Jakarta E11.
Can I say all of them? No, I don't know. It's hard to pick one. I'm not sure, actually. I would say all of them for now.
It's not a feature per se, but I think in terms of Jakarta EE, one of the things we need to ensure is that whatever the release of Jakarta EE is, in this case let's say 12, that release can actually be used with the corresponding latest Java SE version. So projecting out a little bit for Jakarta EE 12, that will either be Java SE 25 or Java SE 21. Ideally, Jakarta EE 12 should say, hey, if you use this technology, you can use either either Java SE 21 or Java SE 25.
In 12, we haven't quite got 11 out yet, but 12 is on the horizon. I'd love to see more of the deprecation, actually, of the EJB and the evolution of that into a more modern standard. I'd also love to see more of the more emphasis on some of the industry use cases that would be appropriate for Jakarta EE, so that we can really dig into making it industry specific in some ways.
I would like to see a bit more. So there is this thing called crack, which lets you kind of dump the memory and restore the memory from a file. And I would love to have more support for that in Jakarta EE, because I know the competition has done some work there as well. I would love to see more of that in Jakarta. Kind of trying to do some work with that and to showcase it with Ivar already. So we have some talks submitted. Maybe they will appear at a conference near you at some point, we'll see. But that would be fun to see actually out there.
So contribution to the Jetty project should be easy, in the sense that we have issues and we label them help wanted. And so they're typically low priority help wanted features. People can just go to the GitHub repository, they can look at the issues, filter them by label, and then they can look at them and then pick the most interesting for them. They will be able to interact with the main Jetty developers, and we will guide them implementing these features. For example, right now we have a couple of guys that are doing that. They came to the project, they said, hey, I really want to try to help. How do I do that? And so for these labels, help wanted on the issues, and then they picked one and they made a really good job. So we just went on from there. It was a really nice way to interact with the community. Yes, Jetty is an open source project. It's a web server and server container. What it does, it has been founded in 1995, so it's a very old open source project. It's still innovating and still very relevant to this day. It is used by a lot of other projects and it's very widespread, and we're mostly innovating like as soon as possible. So as soon as a new feature comes out, we typically jump on the wagon and say, oh, okay, the HTTP protocol or a new cookie handler, stuff like that. And everything that is related to the web protocols is going to be kept under strict surveillance. And so yeah, this is what at the core Jetty is. We also provide, as a library, we provide the capability to embed a Jetty server into your own code. And also we have that you can use if you don't really want to use a speaks HTTP 1, HTTP 2, HTTP 3, fast CGI. We have these features available. And so for people that want to see just the client, they can use the Jetty HTTP client, and they would be really happy to use it because it's highly configurable, highly scalable, and all the goodness is there.
All right, that was an interesting presentation from Luis earlier, and so it's now very clear that Jakarta EE is the best platform for apps in the future.
Amazing.
Yeah, and we also saw a lot of community members talking about what their favorite features of Jakarta EE is and what they want to see for EE 12 as well.
Yeah.
So I hope you all enjoyed that interview session there and with those people.
And we need always community involvement and feedback. So, please chat and put your comments in the chat. We would love to hear from you. We're trying to collect feedback on the needs of the community from wherever we can. So if you're up for it, just let us know in the crowdcast.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure there will be polls and questionnaires about it as well coming along the day. And as we mentioned in the first studio, we are live on Crowdcast, on YouTube, on X, and on LinkedIn. I hear that on LinkedIn, it's they're working on it, so we hope to be up there as well. But currently, YouTube and Crowdcast are probably the best options out there.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm thinking, now that we're established that Jakarta is best platform, now we can go a little bit more presenting our Jakarta EE 11. And how to present it better than see a little video. Like we're very, very, very excited about all the video clips that we created for you. This one is our release video for Jakarta EE 11. So please, let's look at that together and then we can chat a little bit more.
Yeah, let's roll it.
Jakarta EE 10 defines a new profile specification with Jakarta EE Core Profile 10. The Core Profile enables the development of lightweight and modernized Java applications. The new Core Profile provides a subset of Jakarta EE specifications that target smaller runtimes suitable for microservices development. This includes an innovative new CDI Lite specification for building lightweight Jakarta EE applications.
Jakarta EE11 marks a significant advancement in simplifying enterprise Java with new features that enhance performance and increase developer productivity. It maintains a 2-year release cadence, providing stability and dependability for these widely used specifications. Key highlights include the new Jakarta data specification, major updates to the existing specifications, and support for the latest Java LTS release, which enables developers to leverage enhancements in Java 21, including virtual threads. This new Jakarta data specification simplifies data access and boosts productivity by separating persistence logic across databases. Key features include Data Repository, a built-in supertype that is the root of all repositories. Basic Repository, a built-in repository supertype for performing basic operations on entities. CRUD Repository, this facilitates basic CRUD operations, making database interactions more straightforward and less error-prone. Pagination, support for both offset and cursor pagination. Jakarta Data Query Language, JDQL, a streamlined language designed to specify the semantics of query methods within Jakarta data repositories. This release has streamlined the specification with multiple changes, designed to make building applications faster and simpler for developers. These enhancements include the removal of managed beans. The managed beans specification has been deprecated and removed from Jakarta EE11 and replaced by CDI alternatives. The removal of all references to the Java SE Security Manager. Aligning with JEP 411, all references to Security Manager have been removed, paving the way for more modern security practices. The removal of optional features to lower the barrier for new vendors. All optional specifications have been removed in Jakarta EE11. And finally, embracing Java records. Continued support for Java records with various specifications. Example, Java validation to ensure data integrity and reduce boilerplate code. The new release supports Java 17 or higher that enables developers to leverage enhancements in Java 21, including virtual threads. The updated concurrency specification enables developers to leverage virtual threads in Java 21 to significantly boost performance, allowing more efficient handling of concurrent tasks without the overhead of traditional thread management. Jakarta EE11 offers many features and updates that enhance performance and increase developer productivity.
Okay, that was a cool video. Certainly a lot of things happens with Jakarta EE and Jakarta E11. It's coming up, and we know from the chat that there are some comments about the cadence and that we're trying to have this 2-year cadence about a year or so after a so-called LTS release of Java.
Yes.
But the reason why this release is still within the 2024 timeframe. We're still hoping for getting 11 out the door by the end of the year. At least core profile will be available next week.
Actually, any day now could be available. But it is also important to say that all of our, and we will reiterate that throughout the day, all of our component specifications are available and ready since May this year.
Yes.
So you don't really, need to wait for the platform or profile releases in order to use the technology. Mm. However,
yes, exactly. So if you're using the entire platform and an application server or implementation of the platform, then yes, you'll have to wait. But there are betas, alphas, and early releases, preview releases of most of the implementation out there that implements the Jakarta E11 specifications on the milestone 4 release, which was in end of May.
May, yes. So while we may not hit our official calendar 2-year cadence, the technology is available. You can use it, and we'll be bragging about the release date as soon as we have it for you.
Yes. And so, obviously, there's a lot of things going on right now about Jakarta EE. But Tanya, is there anything going on in the interest of future directions of Jakarta EE?
It's nice way you put that. Yes, there is a lot of work happening with regards of the future of Jakarta EE, but beyond immediate next release. So as Ivar played with the words a little bit, yes, we created an interest group that is called Jakarta EE Future Directions. And everyone who is interested in the future of Jakarta EE can actually look up the Jakarta EE Future Directions at the Google, and the page with the details about this interest group will come up. And somewhere down the page, you will see a mailing list. So everyone is invited to subscribe to this mailing list and actually participate in the discussions. The interest group has decided that all the meetings will be open for everyone who is interested to participate. And if you're subscribed to Jakarta EE Community Calendar, which I hope you are, you will see the meetings. I believe they're every other week on Thursdays. And I will just mention that Neil Patterson from IBM has initiated this work. We're attending the meetings, and you can see all the company members, organization members that are that established this working group. So they already started kind of indicating what they would like to talk about. So they're going to talk about primarily how this enterprise platform for Java application development is going to relate to or respond to emerging technologies. Like, let's just mention some of them, like quantum or AI, and how is this relevant for Jakarta EE? They will address some industry use cases, questions related to integrations, and if there is a topic that you think Jakarta EE Future Directions Interest Group should focus on, please sign up to the mailing list, participate in the meetings, and then all the discussions on various topics will be discussed in the GitHub. So, what do you think?
Yeah, so you mentioned finding the intergroups is probably easiest to Google it, but
yes,
we must realize we're talking to a younger generation here, and they may be using other things. You can obviously use Bing or any other search engine, or you can ask ChatGPT or Copilot or whatever your favorite AI system is, and that will be fitting since AI is one of the themes of the future, or one of the topics discussed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there are many conversations, and while we're talking about the future, yes, we're wrapping up on the 11, but I do have to say with extreme pride that the team is already working on or discussing various things related to the next release.
Yeah, and you also mentioned everybody can join. Whether
Absolutely.
you're a representative for a company or an individual or anybody, it's totally free, and it's not that many meetings. It's like once a month or something.
Yes.
they meet. So there is a Zoom call or Teams call or something every month
I
or
think
something.
actually 2 weeks to
2 weeks, yeah.
to stand it up, and then the community will decide how often they want to meet. There are meeting minutes, and it is an opportunity to get involved.
Yeah, and you can always just join the mailing list without even signing up for being a member of the interest group, and just listen
absolutely,
in and
absolutely.
see what's
So
going on.
every individual can sign up to the mailing list. In terms of the membership of the interest group, yes, we do have a membership focused on the organizations, but that does not mean individuals cannot participate. So yeah,
it's very interesting, and
it's very interesting.
Yes,
and exciting.
An interesting interest group for once. So yeah, and we talked a little bit about AI, and what better fitting is than that the next talk is about AI. It's Buhake Cindy talking about Jakarta EE meets AI.
Yeah, very exciting.